My name is Tara. This is my first booktube video, and I hope you can hear me well. I don't have a fancy setup or anything with a microphone, but I'm going to do my January wrap up. So far this month, I've read 7 books, and I'll start, I guess, from the last book I just finished. So, first up, Red, White, and Royal Blue, Casey McQuiston. This is a very popular book in the booktube community. I don't feel like I really need to go over what happens, but it is a gay romance, two males, both one of royalty and one who is the son of the President of the United States. And the President of the United States at this point in time is a woman. And it's a hate to love, I guess kind of maybe a slow burn type relationship. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. The book was extremely funny. I guess gay comedy, the quips and different ways that they thought about each other, how they hated each other at first, but then grew to, I guess, fall in love with one another, was really sweet. Very hilarious at some points. The fact that it was based in today's climate, if you will, politically, and a lot of the topics that they discussed were about, Barack Obama and how people feel about gay relationships, and I really enjoyed it. It was a surprise that I did, but yeah. So the next book before that I finished was The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I listened to this book on Libby. It was a quick read for me. She basically goes on to explain how she goes about helping people to tidy up their homes and the detailed way in which she does it, and then why there's such a high success rate for her method. I'm a minimalist at heart, so there's not much for me to tidy up per se, but I did take away some ideas and some cool ways of reorganizing some items in my own space. So the book before that, Butterfly by Ashley Antoinette. This is a spin-off from the series Ethic. And if any of you have read the Ethic series, I think there are 6 books in the series. You become extremely invested in these characters very quickly. This is I'm gonna say it's like a hood romance. There's violence, there's a lot of drama. There's obviously romantic relationships, betrayal. There's so many different elements to her stories that pull you in, and you never really know what's going to happen from book to book. She got me with Ethic, and now she's getting me with Butterfly. I didn't think I would like Butterfly just because I loved Ethic so much, and the characters in Ethic are, more my age. Butterfly focuses on Morgan, who is Ethic's daughter. She's a young girl, just out of college. Her story is she gets pregnant in the Ethic series by the love of her life, Messiah. And something happens to Messiah at the end of that series. And so now we follow Morgan raising her 2 twin babies with another man, and what comes of that relationship and how she navigates her feelings, her emotions, raising these 2 children, being true to herself, finding herself. So I didn't think I would relate, again, because she is a younger girl. However, the story did pull me in. I did rate it 5 out of 5. It was just as good as the Ethic series. So there's another one, book 2, coming out in June, I believe. I've already pre-ordered it back in December, so there you have it. The next book I finished was Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, a therapist, her therapist, and Our Lives Revealed by Lori Gottlieb. This book, nonfiction. I thought it would read like a clinical therapy book. I did not expect, honestly, to like it as much as I did. The way she wrote the stories in the book, where she talked about the different patients that she saw and the help that she gave them, I became almost vested in trying to see John and I think her name was Jenny through their issues. And the way she writes about their issues, it's hilarious, it's thought-provoking, it's sad, it's empowering. Can I talk? Empowering. And she ends up needing therapy herself due to a breakup that she experienced with her boyfriend of 2 years. And we come to learn that her issues span deeper than just her breakup from her boyfriend. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, more than I thought I would. 5 out of 5 stars. Excellent read. Book before that one that I finished, The Bromance Book Club by Lyssa Kay Adams. Romance story. Again, did not think I would like it. I'm not big on romance. This one surprised me. We follow a baseball legend, Gavin, and his wife, Thea. And we learn early in the book that Thea has been, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, but we find out that she's been faking her orgasms with her husband. And we find this out because when she has a real orgasm one evening with her husband, he freaks out because he thinks something's wrong. Like, what happened? What was that? And he realizes, oh, if that was a real orgasm, what have you been doing the past umpteen times that we've been together? And you would think that he would leave her, if you will, or he would be, and he was upset. But the story goes on to where Thea is the one that wants out of the relationship or wants a break from the relationship. And so in order for Gavin to save his marriage, he enlists the help of his buddies who have established this secret bromance book club where they get together, read these romance novels, take ideas from these romance novels, and use them in their relationships with their women in order to have successful relationships. It was funny, it was quirky, it actually held my attention. It's an interesting concept, but it worked. Very cute story. And it made me think that if guys in real life actually did this and used, I guess, tricks of the trade from different romance novels that they've read, that maybe we would all be in better relationships with our boyfriends or husbands or significant others. So it was a good book. 5 out of 5. I liked it. Before that, I have The Black Book by James Patterson. I rated this book, I believe, 3 out of 5 stars. It was a mystery. This story takes place in Chicago, and the main character, Billy, who is a cop / detective, is led to investigate a murder that happened at a whorehouse. I don't know what else to call it. And the one piece of evidence that everyone on this case that has made national news is trying to find is this little black book. And this little black book holds the key to who may have been involved with the murders and the cover-ups that happened within this story. This book felt like a soap opera. The language was very, they were using car puns a lot of times to talk about sex and being turned on, you know, engines revving up and, you know, stroking people's throttle, you know, things of that nature. And I'm like, really? Can we just call it what it is? So I think the language in this book and it's trying to be, you know, not so vulgar, didn't really appeal to me. So 3 out of 5 stars. It was just okay. And then the very first book that I finished this month was the Arc of the Scythe trilogy, the first book, Scythe. 5 out of 5 stars. Love this book. And for those of you that don't know about the book Scythe, it follows 2 young people, Citra, a young girl in high school, Rowan, a young boy in high school, as they become apprentices to what is called a scythe in the book. So what is a scythe? We're in the world, I think we're in the year 2042 or something, like we're in the future where humans have defeated death. They've defeated diseases and anything else that could potentially kill you. And they have modernized medicine so much so to where if you do try to kill yourself, say if you do splat, that's what they call it in the book, meaning if you jump from the 100th floor of some tall skyscraper and land on concrete in our time, in the age of mortality, you would be dead. You would kill yourself. But if you're in this world, they will take you to a revival center, and within 48 to 72 hours, you would be good as new. With humans being able to defeat death and to reset themselves. If you turn 80 years old and you decide you want to reset back to 25, you can go to a center and they will reset your body to 25. Now you will still be 80, but you will look like a 25-year-old. Technology is crazy in this book. But because no one's dying, they have created a society called the Scythes, and these are people chosen. You have to be chosen to be a scythe by another scythe, and because they see something in you that will make you a good scythe, and then you're trained in the whole bit. But scythes in this book glean people, and by glean I mean kill. And they have to do it according to certain, you can't just go around willy-nilly killing whoever you so choose. Like, you have to make sure you're following a certain protocol. You know, you can only kill so many whites, so many Asians, so many young people, so many old people, so many poor people, so many rich people, you know. Like, your killings have to be well-rounded. So we follow the journey of these 2 young people. A series of events happen throughout this book where their trainer or their mentor, something happens to him, and now they are then taken on by 2 additional scythes. And you have the antagonist in this book, Scythe Goddard, who is very flamboyant. He has a crew, if you will, that he travels with, and they do their gleanings in mass quantities. They kill in mass quantities. You know, they will board an airplane and say, all of you on this airplane today will be gleaned. Office buildings, schools, you know, they are looked down upon for how they go about performing their job, their work. And he likes gleaning a tad bit too much. And so it's kind of a, how do you, you know, your job is to kill, but should you really take that much pleasure into it? And then you have some other Scythes that go about their job humbly. And then you have some crooked Scythes because who have children. And Scythes are honorable people. They're not supposed to get married. They're not supposed to have relationships, children. You know, they're looked at kind of like priests, and people call them your honor when they address them, because people are generally scared of Scythes. If a Scythe shows up at your door, you know, that's not a good thing. You know, so generally Scythes can go into a restaurant and get free meals, free rooms at hotels. Like, they get whatever they need, because nobody wants to be killed. So we come to learn toward the end of the book what happens between Citra and Rowan, because only one of them can be chosen to be a Scythe. And the one that's chosen to be a Scythe at the end of the book has to glean the other. How do you deal with that? So it was a quick read for me. It was a very good book. There's 2 other books in the trilogy. The next book is Thunderhead, which I went ahead and bought from Barnes & Noble. And then the third one, which is out now, is The Toll. That's the last book in the trilogy. I'll plan to probably read those this year, hopefully. And so those are my 7 books that I read in January. Next video, I will plan to do a TBR. It'll be a short video, and I may do a Friday reads as well, just to see what I'm currently reading over the weekend. I already know 2 of the books that I'll be reading in February. I don't plan to do large TBRs because I don't like to set myself up for failure. So anyway, thank you for watching my first booktube video. I plan to be on here more, and thanks for subscribing. Bye.